Hi kids, Heidi here. I have a haul for you. A couple of trips to Goodwill. One of them was on regular price day. I don't know, I had no business going on regular price day. And the other was on a Tuesday, which is senior day, where I get 20% off. Yay for being old. And I did the best I could with my hair today. Earlier it was one pointed hat and a cackle short of a really bad look. I was organizing my pile and making a little list of what I want to tell you about each piece, and I noticed it's still a lot of winter stuff and a lot of dark colors, and I apologize if you came here looking for springtime freshness and floral prints, and I don't have that. I think that people are getting ready for that in their closets, and they're dumping all the winter crap into Goodwill, and I'm finding it. So make hay while the sun shines, or make sweaters while the day is cloudy. So that's enough of that. I don't know how many pieces I have. I didn't count. I'll try to go really fast. That's not going to happen. So if you do get bored, like after 8 minutes, that's what YouTube tells me is the average boredom time. If you get bored like after 8 minutes, then come back and say, hey, I'm back. And I'm here to finish it, because you never know what surprises I'm holding to the end. So what's first? Oh, I was telling some of my friends somewhere, I have a lot of imaginary friends and it's hard to keep track of where they all live, about baggy men's denim. I was in Goodwill and saw over 2 hours in 2 stores, I saw 3 different teenage boys wearing baggy jeans, shopping for baggy jeans. And I already had them in my cart. So South Pole is a 90s brand. They've tried to enlarge they're still in business, and they've tried to enlarge the kind of clothes that they have. These are the 4180, and they're baggy and straight, and wide leg, whatever you want to call them. And these are probably list for about, I don't know, 35, 45, somewhere in there. But if you can find South Pole, they have a character that's a skater kid with a beanie and headphones embroidered on the jeans. Sometimes you'll see the whole body, sometimes you'll see just the head, and it's a little bit it's good grief, where are my words? It's not a hyper realistic depiction of this skater kid. You have to kind of squint and go, oh, yeah, that's a beanie and those are headphones, etc. So, but South Pole is a brand, along with Jenko and many others, of 90s jeans that people are still buying. So I got these. And they're pretty good size, 38. You always have to be careful on the inseam, how you're reporting that, because none of them have kept their inseam measurement after so many years of being washed, and I'm not going to take the time to fold crap. Okay. This is a Lands' End swim bottom. It's Bermuda shorts, and there's a swim panty inside, and it even has pockets. This is a plus size. I like Lands' End swim. I don't buy much else Lands' End, but I like their swim pieces. This is a 22W. Great basic. Would go with a lot of different color swim tops. I paid $3.99 for that, and I'll probably get 20. I always list a little higher than I get, but you know how that works. So I teased a few new brands, whether you'll ever see these brands, but they were new to me brands. These are not bolos. These are new brands I'd never seen before. Everything's on hangers because I thought I was prepared to start listing. This is Pringle of Scotland. And this is an acrylic vest, button front, a really cool houndstooth. And if you're a collector of Scottish vests, Pringle, it's got a pretty good sell-through rate. I paid $3.99 for that, and I'm going to ask $30. That's pretty good for a sweater vest. Oh, I was pretty excited to find this. I offered it to one of my daughters, but she said it had a little bit of too much of an oversized fit for her. So this is J. Crew, which normally is nothing to get excited about, but this is the Cocoon sweater blazer. So it's supposed to be looks like styled like a blazer with pockets and everything. This has a single button, but it's, soft like a sweater. And this is a small in the gray color. And this isn't the most recent version of their sweater blazer, but it is still sought after. I paid $5 for it, and I'm going to list it for $65. So bulky sweaters are sometimes worth looking at. Just a few letters and the style number can get you a lot more money than just an ordinary J. Crew sweater. Oh, the next thing on my list is a Banana Republic cardigan, but it's still in my shaving box, and I don't know if I'm going to win that battle. It's black, and the lint rolling is just, it's getting the best of me. So you're not going to see that because I don't recommend it. Oh, this next one I recommend. I just about had a heart attack because I found two great pieces right in a row in the men's section. And they both needed a lot of love, but they both responded to the love really well. So this is Smart Wool. This is a pretty tiny tag for Smart Wool. You might also recognize the little Smart Wool figure. And this is called the Corbett 120 jacket. So it's a mixture of quilting, nylon, polyester. It's kind of bubbled up here. Merino wool. It's got a lot going on. It's like a mid-layer. You could wear it as a jacket in a light, not too cold of a day. But you see how it's fitted. And so it would be a great runner's jacket or mountain biking if you were, somebody who needed nice fitted clothing. But it's as a mid-layer, it's also great when it's very, very cold between your shirt and your parka. So the Corbett 120, this also is not the most recent model, but it's still in demand. I paid $6 for it, and I'm going to list it for $75. Smart Wool just has such a following, and people don't always want to pay the $100 to $200 per piece that it costs in the retail store. My husband apparently is very willing to pay full price for a Smart Wool because every time we go to a place called Bill's, that's what he comes home with. And then just two hangers down in the men's rack, I found this, which is a cool sweater. Sorry, I'm really backwards today. Cool, there's their little sleeve logo. And you know how when you spot a couple good things in a row, you think, where's the rest of your stuff? What else did you donate? So that was exciting. So here's the cool neck label. And this is called the Interceptor FZ. FZ is for full zip. It's got kind of a mixture of fleece and jersey. This is in a couple shades of brown. And it's a great jacket. Paid $4.99 for that, and I'm going to list it for $55. And even though it's not the season, the outdoorsy people are starting to go out now to do non-snow things, and you need warmer clothes. Here in Michigan, it's still in the 20s and 30s at night, so don't despair that you can't sell warm weather clothing even in the springtime. I'm sorry, cold weather clothing even in the springtime. The next two things are not clothes. I always take as I said in a video a couple years ago, I always take a whiz through the hard goods. What I mean is I don't spend a lot of time there, but I go through and I look in each department for certain things that catch my eye. And one of them is vintage plastic bowls. You might find some old Tupperware, some old Rubbermaid, what's the one that looks like it was made out of confetti molded into something? But this is a fiberglass bowl. Oh, it's from Artmore. There are a couple different brands. It's not particularly attractive on the side view. And once you put your fruit in it, you can't really see the pattern. But at any rate, I paid 80 cents for this. And I'm going to list it for about $24.99. Super lightweight, easy to ship, unbreakable. Well, if you ran over it with a truck, it would break. So this one's got peaches in a basket in it. And that's an Artmore fiberglass serving bowl. The other piece, I don't know. I'm just going to put up a price. I'm just going to list it and see what happens. So this is a woven rattan pitcher with a handle and a spout, and it's got some markings on the bottom. And then it came with 4 little cups, 4 of them. The markings on the bottom are all in Spanish. There's something about quality guaranteed and artisana, which is, artisan, craftsman. CRP, I don't know what that means. So I don't know where they were made. Spain or Mexico, I'm guessing, someplace in Central America, I don't know. 4 little cups. So this is rattan peel or skin, very thin weaving splints. And it's got a varnish or a lacquer of some kind on the outside because it's shiny and smooth. And then the inside of all of the pieces has been coated with, epoxy or some sort of plastic. Again, I don't know the age. I don't know who made them. I don't know why they made them. I'm selling them for decor, not for food use, because I have no idea if it would be food safe. So I'm listing it in the decor section. And I'm putting in my listing. I'm not selling these for your food. But I've tested them and they're watertight. So, I don't know. I think I'm going to ask 40 something and just see what happens. It's very unusual. All the Google searching, all the lens and word searching I did, I couldn't find anything like it. All the rattan pitchers or cups have their sleeves for glassware. They're not actual pitchers made out of rattan. So, I'd love to hear in the comments if you have any insight about that or what you would price them at, or if you think they're interesting or you think I should have left it behind. For the pitchers set and cups, I paid $6. So not too big a risk. Next, I have a pair of jeans. Again, more with the dark. Once in a while, I go on a kick of a lot of pants because pants take perseverance and dedication to go through the pant rack because the labels are so hard to see. So these are J brand. They're Selena is the model. But I thought they were cute because they are cropped, frayed, and then they've got a slit in them that's filled with black lace. I don't know. Do you think somebody's going to want to wear those? Better now in the spring and summer than in the winter when your ankles would get cold. So these are J brand Selena jeans. I paid $5.99. The comps tell me I might get $35. Which is pretty good for J brand. Next is a vintage, and I've really cut down on the vintage. I honest to God have, because I still haven't sold what I bought before. But somebody told me that denim maxi skirts are all the things, so I bought myself a denim maxi skirt. It's got these interesting worn out patches on the front and on the butt, and it's slit way up there in the back. The brand doesn't matter. It's North Crest. Oh, get real with the camera, Heidi. North Crest. It's a size 14, and it measures about a 14, so I don't think it shrunk much over the years. So that I paid $4.99 for, and I'm going to ask $30, but somebody will probably offer me $18, and I'll go, okay, because that's how I am. This is a cool skirt. Now, that other cool thing was a very cool thing. A nice men's jacket. This is a skirt. It's not a skirt, just a skirt. Which I guess if you were going to go for a quick hike and then go into town for lunch, you would want a little skirt to do it in. Cute with your hiking sneakers. But $4.99, I might get $25 for it. But it will draw interest because people search cool, and so then they'll find my store. Talbots, which after all my research, I don't do a lot of Talbots, but this is a great open front linen cardigan. Perfect for spring and summer, perfect for layering, perfect for coastal grandma, wherever she may be, even though she's probably in Des Moines and not on the coast. No, I live on a coast. It's an interior coast, but we call it the other west coast or something. I don't know what we call it. Lake Michigan is 4 miles from my house. But we have a lot of grandmas, but they mostly don't dress coastal. I wonder if I do. I'll have to ask my kids. I should ask my grandchildren, and they would say, what the hell's a coastal grandma? Because, they don't follow trends, of course. So Talbot's cardigan, I think that was a good buy. Paid $4.99, and I'm going to ask $25. This was probably a mistake, but somebody told me that purple sells. This is a silk A-line skirt, fully lined, fully purple and fully silk. Bedford Fair Lifestyles, a 16 petite. So the name means nothing, but if someone wants a beautiful purple silk skirt for springtime, Easter, the red hat party, I don't know. Please don't invite me to one of those. This is Outdoor Research. This is called I found a style number on it. It's called the Foresty wind shirt. So it's a half zip, kind of a stretch nylon deal. It's got thumb holes. A great runner's jacket, I think. Chest pocket. And what did I pay for that? I paid $3.99 and I'm going to ask $35. Outdoor Research used to be like quite a score. And now I feel like I have to be more careful about what I get. Where's that Outdoor Voices? I don't have time to look it up right now. So just be careful on your things labeled outdoor, because Heidi's not telling you what to buy. These are Judy Blue jeans. They're called the Skinny Fit. That's not particularly descriptive, but boy, is it accurate. And they've got some whiskering going on and a little bit of distressing on the back pockets. Now, Goodwill has started to notice this. I paid, they were marked up to $7.99, but because it was 20% off day, I paid about $6. Normally for $7.99, they have to be a really good Judy Blue style, because they're not all created equal. These I'll probably only get 25 to 35 for, but they sell like that very quick. So I'll get my $6 turned over pretty quickly. My pile is getting short and it's getting harder to reach. Here's another one of the brands I said was new to me. And I really liked the fabric content, which is why I looked it up. Fatigues. Fatigues is the label. There's not a lot of this for sale and not a lot of it sold. But I think that I won't have a problem because these are 77% silk and 23% linen. They're a very nice high-waisted, wide-leg pant. The hemline is kind of ankle, I would say, based on the inseam, but you know, everybody's ankle pant is a different length because God gave us all different legs. These have button flap pockets in the back and little slip pockets here. So they're kind of styled casually, but because of the fabric, they would dress up very nicely as well. They're very soft black. I wouldn't say they're faded, just a soft black. And I paid $6 for those, but I'm going to ask $40. And again, the brand is not really driving that. It's a good brand. They're expensive, but the silk and linen blend is what I think will sell it. Boy, I'm just ripping through this stuff today, which is good because I have a little sport coat lesson at the end. So this is a great find. I have to fix the tag. It's a vintage Orvis chenille bathrobe. Sorry. Well, there's the old Orvis tag. It's coming off on one side. But it's a chenille full zip bathrobe. Isn't that cute? Now, of course, it's not as fabulous as the ones that have moons, cows jumping over moons, or the signs of the zodiac, or different colors. But it does have these great little puffy squares on the sleeves and on the bodice. And it is full length, and it has pockets, and it's a full zip. It does have thin spots, which I will take pictures of. I'll see if I can show you. Let me find one, and then I'll show it to you. So thin spots where the chenille has just worn away. You see those little, like that stripe there. But it certainly wouldn't take away from your enjoyment if you wanted a vintage chenille robe. When I was a little girl, I had a chenille bathrobe. It was pink, and it had bright pink flowers on it and a little sash that tied. And I'm sure when I outgrew it, my mother gave it to another mom for her little girl, because there was a lot of clothes sharing back in those days. But this is, I think, quite a find. And I'm going to ask $40 for it. I only paid $3.19. My Goodwill does not care about pajamas and intimates. They only ask $3.99 for everything. And they don't know any of the brands that are good, so they don't mark them up. So $3.19 for that. let's all stop and have a little break so we can quench our parched throats. This is my addiction. Well, one of them. So this one more thing that was a brand I'd never heard of, which kind of surprised me. I thought I'd heard of them all. It's a Ralph Lauren brand that I had never found before, and it's called RLX, Ralph Lauren. And I did a little digging around. RLX is golf wear. So these are women's pants. They've kind of got a little moto thing going on here with the ribbed panels on the side. They look a little faded there, but they're nice black. They're a stretchy ponte knit, and I can see how they would be very comfortable to golf in. They have 2 back pockets with zippers, and they're size 12. So once I figured out what RLX was, I decided to buy them for $4.79, and I'm going to ask $25 to $40 for them. So have you ever heard of RLX, or have you found it? I was just like, what? I thought I knew them all the good ones and the bad ones. Okay, so my last item that I got in the thrift store is a men's jacket. It's technically a suit jacket, but it's a crossover kind of between a blazer and a suit jacket and a sport coat. So what's the difference between a sport coat and a blazer and a suit jacket? We'll start with blazer because I don't happen to have one as an example. They sell pretty quickly. A blazer is most likely navy blue and has most likely gold tone buttons. Usually single-breasted. Right now they should be 2-button or 1-button to be in style. Classically they were made of wool, and double-breasted was much more common. And but they're made of all kinds of fabrics now. So a blazer can be black, usually navy blue, with gold tone buttons. Sometimes silver. People get crazy with the rules, but a blazer, technically speaking, is a lapelled jacket for men that is navy blue or black and has gold or silver tone buttons. And they usually have buttons on the cuffs. A really good brand. Their buttons will have their brand on the buttons, like with a big coat of arms or a crest or shield of some kind. I wish I had one in stock, but the last one I sold was I think it was vintage dead stock Ralph Lauren black wool one with gold buttons, and that sold in like 6 days. So I always, when I go through men's jackets, sport coats, suits, etc., I always look first for navy blue to see if they have gold buttons, and then I see what brand they are, because those are quick sellers. Every man should have one in his wardrobe. My husband did for years, but he doesn't right now because he said, I don't like those anymore, and I don't want to have one. And I'm like, fine. But a well-dressed man used to always have a navy blue blazer. You can dress it up with jeans. You can dress it down with jeans. You can wear it with like gray flannel slacks and look well-dressed in any situation that you might show up in accidentally. If you get out of your car at a party and say, hey, that looks fun. So that's a blazer. A suit jacket is meant to be worn with matching trousers. It can have a great variety of styles, from a Nehru collar to a notched collar to a wide lapels to skinny lapels, double-breasted, single-breasted. But it's typically a finer fabric than the sport coat that we'll talk about. Finer meaning finer weave, smoother hand, more easily tailored, and shoulder pads and constructed with facing and stiffeners and all that stuff. So the fabric itself is usually a finer fabric and can come in wool and silk and linen and all the different blends. But it's made to be worn with matching trousers. And if you find a pinstripe jacket, you shouldn't wear it alone. You should wear it with matching pinstripe trousers. A gray jacket, if it's really constructed in a way like a sport coat, then you can wear it alone. But if it's got a very fine, suiting, smooth quality to the fabric, it should be worn with matching trousers. So finding suit coats at the thrift is really not very fun for me because they're really hard to sell on their own, because who's got the matching pants? Even finding suits at the thrift store, it's a challenge to sell them, because where are you going to find a guy who is both, the jacket fits him and the pants fit him? Because that can be any combination. My husband is a 42 long in a jacket and he wears 34 pants. So he's got wide shoulders and a little chest, and he's got long legs. So somebody else might have short legs and a big chest. Suits are hard because they're sold for the man buying them. Sometimes you'll find dress trousers and there's no size in them at all. That's a surefire indication that they were sold as part of a suit. The person picked out the jacket and they were fitted for that, and then they were measured for pants. They go over to the pants section and pull them off the rack. They don't need numbers in them because the people selling the pants know which sizes are which. So if you ever find dress trousers without a size, they were meant to be worn with a suit. Here's an example of a suit jacket that I did not buy to list. It was in a box of, mystery crap. But it's a good brand. It's J. Crew. It's a lovely charcoal pinstripe. My husband used to have a charcoal pinstripe suit. We went to a corporate event for the company that he worked for years ago. It was the big formal awards night. And I left him standing with a group of his friends and a couple of wives, and I went to the restroom and then to stop at the bar. When we came back, we realized that 90% of the guys in the ballroom were wearing gray pinstripe suits, and it took us a very long time to find a man that we wanted to take home with us. So this is a suit jacket, and I don't think I'll ever sell it because who's got the matching pants? If you were really daring, you could wear it with black trousers or charcoal gray trousers, but there'd be somebody in the room who would say, oh, you lost your suit pants, huh? So I don't think I'll sell it, but I'll give it a try for a while. It's 100% wool. It's a 42 long. It's got a lovely little cape lining in it. It's a very nice jacket. J. Crew probably sold it for $350. But Heidi's not going to get anything for it because suits are hard. I mean, if you find a suit that's an amazing designer brand, and or even a pretty good designer brand, Ralph Lauren Inequality, and the jacket is kind of an ordinary size, that's a 42 long, or a 44 regular, and you find some pants that are long inseam and a pretty good waist, you might want to get it because the pants can always be hemmed. And if it was a fabulous jacket, the guy might say, I'll get it altered. The sleeves are too long for me, but I'll get them sleeve shortened. Oh, that's another thing. If you are going to buy a suit to resell or a sport coat, look in the arm because that's where you'll see if it's been altered. Because they don't shorten the sleeves by shortening the hem. They don't shorten the sleeve down here because look at all the pretty buttons. They shorten the sleeve by taking it out of the armhole and adjusting the pattern and shortening it that way. So look in the armhole for alterations. So the item I did, okay, so here's a sport coat. What is a sport coat? It's made out of not suiting fabrics, usually tweeds, flannels. This is a flannel, not like your plaid flannel shirts, but a flannel wool. Tweeds, you might see herringbone, you might see paisley. I sold a really cool sport coat the other day that was paisley. You'll see linen and cotton and all kinds of things, but they'll be rougher textured, bolder prints. The sport coat comes from England mostly. On the country weekends when they went out shooting and duck hunting and sporting, they wore jackets that were still really tailored and nice looking, but were, cut so that they could move and eat their sandwiches, I suppose, on the bank of a lovely little stream. But sport coats were sporting coats, not suit coats. See? So now they've come to look like an example like this. And they can be worn with jeans. They can be worn with dress trousers. They can be worn with khakis. Chinos would be better than khakis. They can be worn with or without a tie. They can even be, I wouldn't do this one, but a lot of sport coats can be worn with like a polo shirt underneath. So the guy can really be comfortable and still look smart. This is a Joseph Banks. Brooks Brothers would be a better buy. I don't like to get Joseph Banks anymore. But maybe I'll sell that one. So the one I have today is definitely this is how I said it's a crossover. So this is a linen suit jacket, but because it's linen in this great blue, it could also be worn as a sport coat. Okay? It's not like a pinstripe, which you would never match, or a Glen plaid, which would be really hard. This is a pretty blue linen jacket. And This one is from Dillard's. It's the Murano. And they did sell it as suit separate, so you could get matching pants. But it's also a really great jacket for a sport coat. This is called the Ticket Pocket. And this one is all the pockets are still sewn shut. But it's got a ticket pocket. Get that sleeve out of the way. Where you would put your railroad ticket when you were traveling in your sport coat. So that's typical of a sport coat. Most suits would not have a ticket pocket. This also has what are called surgeon's cuffs. The buttons, instead of just being for decoration, actually function. So if you were a surgeon and you came across a sudden operation you had to perform on a kitchen table, you didn't even have to take off your jacket. You could just unbutton your cuffs and roll up your sleeves. Surgeon's cuff is what that one's called. And some people like it. You never see it on a cheap jacket, that's for sure. And so some people like it, so put it, if you have one, put it in the description so people can find the keywords. And I'm done playing with the surgeon cuff. This one was rolled up in a ball and is a wrinkled mess, but I am probably going to get about $40 or $50 for this. It's a Murano linen coat from Dillard's. Oh, and the linen is Baird McNutt, which you sometimes see on J. Crew stuff. And Baird McNutt calls itself the finest Irish linen. So that's the Murano. So that's all I have for you today. Boy, I went along in a pretty good clip until I got to that sport coat suit jacket rabbit hole. And as far as suits go, do whatever you'd like. I just say don't sell them because I think it's just so hard and it takes so long. But if you find something fabulous, give it a go. That's all I have for you today. I'd love to hear your comments on if any of those items were interesting to you or if you have questions. And thanks so much for coming. I had a good time. Bye, kids.